Greetings, everyone. I want to say thank you for coming back to my channel to view my latest content. I want to wrap up on my series that I've entitled Balanced Life. And I broke it down into several categories. The first being the spiritual, the second being the mental, third being physical, fourth being financial. And today I want to talk to you about being financially secure. And I want to start it off with one of my favorite verses, and this is in John chapter 10, verse 10. And this is the Amplified version. It says, "The thief comes only in order to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it in abundance." So that's Jesus saying that he came to give us the abundant life. And I feel like that's what this series has been all about, a quality life, an abundant life. It doesn't mean that you have to be filthy rich, but it does mean that you are not lacking. You are not deficient in any of the categories that I've covered, including your finances. So my approach to being financially stable is a few things. I want to start with probably the most popular one, and that's to minimize debt. Proverbs 22:7 says, "The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." So only borrow when absolutely necessary, houses and cars, things like that. I know that, more than likely you're going to have to borrow money or get those items financed. But be strategic. Look at the terms and the length of the loans, and then know what your goals are. So if those terms don't line up with your goals, then maybe that's not the best decision at that moment in time. And even when you're buying a house or a home, look at it as an investment. Don't buy to impress anyone. Look at what the ROI would potentially be, which is your return on investment. I have always purchased properties that needed improvement. Once those improvements were made, I was able to maximize my profits. So minimize your debt. The next one is when making small purchases. First off, try not to be excessive. I know it's easy to do with small items. It's easy to be excessive, but we have to try to limit that. And when you are making smaller purchases, and I'm talking about household things, clothing items, things of that nature, I try to buy quality. I try to never buy something just because it's popular or because it's a certain brand that, a lot of people use as a status symbol. When you're buying quality, sometimes it will be expensive brands. But the purchase is because you're getting the best product for the price that's being offered, not because you're trying to make a status statement. So don't purchase to impress. Some of us are just addicted to likes and compliments. And it's creating a setback in your long-term goals of becoming financially stable. The next thing I want to talk about is entrepreneurship. I've been self-employed for almost 20 years now, and at times I just feel like it is oversold to be your own boss because of the scope of what it entails sometimes isn't discussed enough. So I felt like I should be able to talk to people about some things I don't hear. And these are some of the things that I wish someone would have mentioned to me in the earlier days of my business. The first is you need to be able to generate enough income to have, number one, for your operating costs. And this is probably the most obvious one. And it includes, what materials are needed, your payroll, your liability insurance, worker comp insurance, etc. Anything that falls in the realm of your working capital. You need to have enough money to run the business, basically. The next one is You need to be able to generate enough money to pay all the taxes that's on your federal and state levels. Again, I think that a lot of this stuff is not discussed enough. When people start talking about being your own boss or being an entrepreneur or starting a business. Next, you are also responsible for health insurance or health care costs. Remember, we're talking about generating enough money to cover these items. The next is retirement. How much do you need to continue the lifestyle that you want to have? You know, some people want to continue to travel often. And just other things that you could think of that you would want to continue to be able to do even after you retire. So you need to be able to generate enough money to put away to have enough money to retire on. All right. The next one is you want to be able to make enough money to have a lifestyle to justify the sacrifice that you are making. Because being an entrepreneur can be mentally and physically draining at times. So it's got to be worth it. So again, this is just something that I wish someone had told me that, you know, hey, you've got to generate enough income to cover all these expenses. This is the big picture. And I'm not saying this to be discouraging. I'm saying it to be informative. And you don't have to have all this solved or working for you on day one. You don't have to have all this figured out on day one. But 10, 15 years down the road, yes, these items should be definitely be able to be funded. All right. And if this is not for you, the entrepreneur thing, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still build wealth, but I just wanted to cover that category because I am an entrepreneur, and this is just something I wish someone had told me as far as how much I need to generate money for these items. It was just, I would have probably been further along. But let's talk about building wealth. You should gauge your financial goal based on what type of lifestyle you would like to have. I heard an influencer on YouTube once say that live like a millionaire now. So stop using a dollar amount for a goal. And he said that just because it resonates with people, because all you hear is people say, I just want to become a millionaire. I just need to make $1 million. Well, that may or may not be true. It depends. You have to understand what you need to fulfill your purpose and who you are. Do you want 1, 2, or 3 cars? Do you want to have 2 houses in different states or different areas? Do you want to be able to take a vacation once, twice, or 3 times a year? Do you want to be able to pay for your children's extended education? Do you want to be able to retire at age 40, 50, or 60 years old so you can pursue other things in life? This is the type of things it should be based on. Material things should never be the goal. That should never be the goal. The quality of your life and the impact that you are having on those around you is what's most important. Matthew, I'm going to read a verse here. Matthew 6. And verses 19 and 20. And this is the Amplified version. It says, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust destroys and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So in all of this, it's like check yourself, your heart. Where is your heart? Is your heart in the right place. If your heart's in the right place, this stuff, you're not going to pursue any of the frivolous items and material things. You're going to have a goal, and you're going to be focused on that goal. And again, that goal is going to be able to provide you a quality life, and you're going to be able to influence those around you. You're going to be able to be a blessing to those around you. So next, I want to talk to you about execution. So you've got to be able to execute. In my field over the years, I've added classifications to my licenses. I've maximized my current abilities while expanding to more areas and states. So I'm testing often, and I'm pushing myself to grow. Focus, discipline, and patience is the key. It's when preparation meets opportunity. So be prepared to go to the next level at all times. And I don't believe in the overworking, just overworking yourself. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to chase money. Make money come to you. Increase your value, and money will come to you. I feel like you could use a full day of work to be as productive as possible. And yes, there will be times as an entrepreneur, for sure, that you will have long days that you just cannot avoid. That is going to happen. I'm not saying don't do that, don't neglect your business, but at the same time, I'm not going to just overwork myself just for this money that I'm trying to generate. Then the next one should be, and this is if you're an entrepreneur or not. This should be next. Focus on saving. And even when you're saving, your savings account should be in some sort of a money market account that can draw interest. And your savings should eventually evolve into investing. So your goal to save is not just to save. It's to be able to save enough money to get leverage to go out and make other investments. And we all know what some of those are: real estate, stocks, retirement accounts, or a lucrative business. A lucrative business could be an investment, which all these have risks to some degree. So educating yourself is the key on these items. But the savings should turn into investing. So ask yourself, what does God want for you in the category of finances? Remember that regardless of what career field you are in, you can be blessed. Block out all the chatter of the world and focus on what's best for you. As this ministry grows, one thing I want to be able to do is provide the tools and the resources for each of the categories that people may be struggling in. When I felt like God placed this on my heart to start doing this, one of the main goals I wanted to achieve with the ministry was to make sure people have something they can walk away with that will permanently change their lives for the better. So when you're seeking out spiritual wisdom, advice on this platform, on social media, whatever it is, make sure you're not looking for charisma and entertainment. Make sure you're looking and listening for good, sound, godly wisdom. That's what's going to transform your life. Again, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come to the channel. I pray that this was a blessing for you. And as always, I pray that you can be a blessing to someone. Until next time, peace.